things to kind of keep in mind and maybe ask your supervisor are, what is the traffic situation on location? Can I back on location with a spotter or without a spotter? Who's unlocking my twist locks? Can the driver get out of his tractor while on site? What kind of PPE is required on the location? Again, these are just some key questions to ask your supervisor or other drivers prior to the first time heading to location. When you're on location or the well site, it can be a very busy place, as you can see from this picture here. There's a lot of different operations going on simultaneously, and a lot of people moving around as well. So as a driver, when you pull up to location, be aware of people walking around or things that may be moving. Also, be sure to keep your speed limit at that 3 miles per hour or at just walking speed. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're getting unloaded is the safe zones. If the driver is allowed to get out of his tractor to unlock the twist locks, be sure that you are in a safe zone once your box is being delivered. Again, you can see from this diagram here, your safe zones, when being unloaded, are at the back and the front of the tractor trailer. Again, make sure you know where your safe zones are on location prior to heading to site. Also, approved safe zones may change during the course of operations, so don't be scared to ask the operators on site or your supervisor. Again, if you have a question, be sure to ask our operators on site so that you can make sure that you're following all of the rules and policies on this particular site. On some of our locations, ground guides may be required to guide trucks around while moving around location. Again, always check with your supervisor or the operators on location to see if ground guides may be required on the site that you're at. Now, if ground guides are required, be sure to follow all of their hand signals. That person is there to guide you and put you in a specific area. So if they tell you to stop, be sure to stop. If they tell you to move left or right, do that as well. Again, each site can be a little bit different, and some sites may require 2 ground guides, 1 ground guide, or even none in some instances. Again, if that ground guide is guiding you, they're responsible for putting you where they want you. So be sure to follow their hand signals and don't move any faster than they move. Again, keep with them and make sure that you're following everything that they're showing you to do. When you're on site getting your box unloaded, it is important to keep in mind that our dance floor is off limits. Again, no one is allowed on the dance floor without following the dance floor enter and exit policy. SandBOX does have a zero tolerance policy for any dance floor infractions. Again, a dance floor infraction is any time that somebody enters the dance floor without following that policy. Again, as the driver, you should stay in your designated safe zones while the loading and unloading process is taking place. So again, always stay in your safe zones while on location. As the driver, you are the one that is responsible for